You see George Washington's had their way in this series. Is Ryan Canty with a dunk off the baseline for Fordham to get it back tied at 4. And to your point, when you can have the bigs see the floor that well and pass that well, boy, it makes it dangerous. It's severe. Hits from inside the three-point land.
Well, that was a night to have some of the headlines this season, and it's never affected his play.
Ryan Rooms off the glass. Fordham with a 5-point lead. No look from Frazier, but creates that trap in the corner. Frazier back for 3. Got it.
Warriors coming in behind Johnson here.
Thomas, and this time able to finish. Thomas 1 for 9 from the floor. But he gives it to Samir, and he hits the 3. Fouls already piling up inside for Fordham as well. 2 bigs with 3 at the moment. And Frazier with a big three-pointer.
You know what?
Much more patient for the offensive set, and it's resulted in a much higher percentage as Armwood misses the lay-in from the left side. And Del Thomas.
1 on 3. He decides to take a lot of confidence with
getting him back to full strength for the big tournament. Meanwhile, back to play, and it's Canty off the right block. Here in crunch time. And Del Thomas. And it won't go. But Rooms gets it back out, and Frazier with a short jumper.
All week I've been talking to him, probably longer than that, for the last few weeks of the season, as to how close we are. And I think it was never, we're so close to turning the corner here. You know, there's a team that's going to the NCAA tournament, top 4 teams in the conference. They jumped us pretty good down at their place, and we showed the gumption to come back here and to play them. And once again, I thought obviously Brandon was superb. I thought Ryan Canty's performance was exceptional. And we're just searching for that third guy. How many times I've looked you guys in the eyes and said, who's going to be the third guy to step up and make the plays and make the difference? And, you know, we got some good looks, and we just couldn't knock them down. And I just thought we showed great toughness, and we did show a lot of grit tonight, and continuing to grind and never give up. Obviously, they're a good basketball team, and so are we. So it shows you what a fine line there is. There's a 23-win team, and we're a 9-win team. I said to them in the locker room, if you don't believe you can go into this tournament and win games, you're crazy. Because if you play that way, you're going to win games in this tournament starting Wednesday night. And that's why it's so important, and that's why big-time conferences have everyone in the tournament. Because that's a carrot for me to dangle in front of this team. It would be a shame if we played a game like this and then we weren't in the tournament because they decided to only keep 12 teams. That's why it's about student-athletes, and that's the way it needs to be done. So we got to prepare. I'll be watching the ticker tonight, and I'll start preparing tonight for either Duquesne or George Mason.
Talking about the last few possessions, there were 2 key turnovers. How big was that? Just the momentum?
Huge. I mean, we only had 7 turnovers for the game, but I mean, you know, I thought a couple of them were real tough ones, and I thought we got some pretty good looks at different times. Thought we were getting the ball back on that baseline OB. And, you know, we were in the huddle writing up an offensive play. We knew what to do defensively, but I was pretty confident we were going to get the ball back. And it's been that kind of year, man.
In the game where you're 3 of 24 from 3, how did you stay in?
By getting 18 offensive rebounds, just kicking your ass on the boards. And I said to them, you know, if you win the battle of the boards, you win most games. I would tell them all the time, if you control the paint and the backboards, it's the same as controlling the line of scrimmage in football. You're going to win a lot of games if you control the line of scrimmage. And we controlled the backboards. We didn't do a great job defending the paint. You know, they posted us up a good number of times and got to the rim a few times in the second half. But that's what kept us in the game. I thought we gave great effort.
Coach, is there anything you saw from your guys tonight that impressed you? I mean, you talk about playing a full 40 minutes.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it was as good an effort as we've had all year. All right? And, you know, once again, you can't pick and choose, but you lay this effort out every night, and, you know, it's a different kind of season for us. But that's a skill, and it's a skill we have to work at, and something we're going to continue to get better at over time. And, you know, and that's why if you give effort like we did tonight, you'll win a lot of basketball games, and hopefully we'll give this kind of effort Wednesday night against either a good Mason or a good Duquesne team.
Coach, lots of fouls called out there tonight. That kind of take you guys out of your rhythm a little bit?
Nah, it's, you know, it's just a contact sport. I tell the guys play tennis or golf if you don't want to get hit. But you know, I don't think the whistle was. It is what it is.
Brandon, huge game, 28 points last game. How, I guess, emotional is it for you to play your last game out there in front of a huge packed house tonight?
You know, it felt good to play out there with the crowd. You know, although we didn't get the win, it's kind of emotional for the senior day when I walked out, but didn't want to really show it. But you know, it's just it's bad that we didn't get the win, but it's bittersweet. That's how I would say it.
What does it mean to you to go out with a performance like that? 28 points.
Like I said, although we didn't get the win, it's good to show like the people that were here, like I guess to remember me. You know, playing that last game, I guess they'll remember what I did. That's how I say it.
Brandon, you have the tournament upcoming, but can you just talk about your Fordham career and what it's been like being here for 4 years?
You know, although the team has been going through its ups and downs, just being at Fordham and being a part of Fordham, you know, was the best decision I ever made. You know, coming here and getting my degree and then just being around a bunch of people that supported me made me who I am. You know, besides basketball and everything, so Fordham just made me a man. So I think this was the best decision of my life.
Obviously, you're trying to win the game down the stretch, but are there any other thoughts going through your head final couple of minutes playing in front of your home crowd?
You know, just anxious to win, really. You know, going through your head like just get one more before the tournament. You know, I was just anxious to win. You know, a lot of bad plays went on in the last 3 minutes. I just think that was anxious from all the guys. They just wanted to get the win. So basically, just being anxious to go get that 10th win.
Brandon, you've been known for high records in points, assists, but also you haven't won here. What do you want to tell people who say, you know, you weren't a winner, but you were one of the best?
I know the program is going to change around, and although I will not be here, I'll still be a part of the team. You know, I'm leaving Fordham, but Fordham will never leave me. So as things get better, I know Coach is going to make things better here, and when they start winning, I know I'll be a part of that.
He'll be a big part of it. You know what I mean? For him to come here in the beginning, I've told you guys the story before. He was coming to Hofstra with me, and when I made the decision to come here, it wasn't an easy one, and he didn't hesitate. And he's a big part of this. You know, he's been so involved with our recruiting and our ability to get players like John Sevier and others. And as we move forward, even and Eric Pascal, and Brandon's been a spokesman for this program. And I mean, what he just did here, guys, that we're going to show that to every kid we ever recruit, because that's what it's all about. And when guys graduate, you want them to be Fordham men, and I think without a doubt he's grown into becoming a great Fordham man. And when he's done playing, and he's going to play professionally at some level somewhere, there'll be Fordham people lining up to hire him. And that's why you come to Fordham. It's not about 4 years, it's about 40 years. And when we're winning next year, I'll mention Brandon Frazier a lot in the course of that, because he set the foundation for that.
Coach, the Bigs played really well defensively today. What other defense do you want to change going into the Atlantic 10 tournament to keep that toughness?
Yeah, well, I mean, once again, I think that they did play hard, and Larson and Armwood are very good. Obviously, Armwood's a fifth-year player, and he's a good one, but as Larson is. But we just have to get a little bit better. They went on a little run there where they got to the rim a couple times, Carino especially. And we just got to get that weak side defense over a little bit more and get to the basketball and prevent those easy baskets, because those were the difference. They went on that little run, and then we had to fight to get ourselves back in, and we never quite got there.
Coach, you addressed it a little bit before, but how big of an opportunity is this on Wednesday? How big would it be to get a win?
It'd be great. Look, and I know it sounds like coach talk, and someone asked me about preparing for the tournament. You prepare every game the same way, and we work our asses off, and it's a great opportunity. You're in the Barclays Center, and I've been involved. My first year at Hofstra, we had just left the American East, going to the CAA, and I think we were the bottom seed or one of the bottom seeds, and we played a top seed and upset them. And then and then all of a sudden momentum changes. The pressure is on those teams, because if you can hang around and play them late into the game, the pressure turns, the crowd turns, and starts rooting for the underdog. So that's what makes a conference tournament play so special, and it'll be a great opportunity for us. Good. Thank you all very much. We appreciate everything. Thank